Hey everyone, it's Tom here with Bunny Media. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. So if you click this video, there's a really good chance you are currently running a WordPress website or you're thinking about starting one soon. If that's the case, congrats. WordPress is honestly a great choice. It already powers over a third of the web. It's incredibly flexible. It gives you more control, and WordPress is one of our favorite content management systems there is. But learning how to use and navigate WordPress can be tricky, and figuring out which WordPress plugins you should use on your store can be even more confusing. So that's why in this video, we're covering 10 of the best WordPress plugins you can use to power your blog or e-commerce store. Specifically, the plugin categories we're going to cover in this video include SEO and site speed, social media, marketing, and security. So there's something in this video for everyone. Make sure you watch until the end, because we're also going to mention some WordPress plugins you should avoid and some best practices you should follow to make sure your website runs smoothly. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the best WordPress plugins. Okay, so the first category of plugins we're going to cover relate to SEO and site speed. So basically, what plugins can you use to increase your visibility on search engines, or what plugins will help improve your site speed and overall website performance. And so the first plugin we wanted to mention on this list is Yoast SEO, and really this is one of the most popular SEO related plugins that a lot of bloggers really like. And if you're kind of new to SEO and you want a helping hand, this is definitely a must-have plugin for your site. So some of Yoast's main features include a XML sitemap tool, SEO analysis and readability tools, Webmaster verification tools, and a knowledge graph and schema.org tool. And so jargon aside, Yoast basically helps you manage your sitemap. It helps you get your site up and running. It makes sure you're getting indexed by Google, Bing, Yandex, and everything like that. So just out of the gate, it is quite useful. And one thing bloggers in particular really like about Yoast is that it helps you write better blog posts and kind of gives you that helping hand we mentioned. So for example, Yoast can make sure your title is the right length, your meta description is the right length. When writing blog posts, you can also give a keyword you want to rank for to Yoast, and it'll make sure that keyword appears enough in your content and that you have the right level of keyword density. Now, you shouldn't take what Yoast says as gospel. It assists you with SEO. It does not do SEO for you, but it had to make the list for this video on the best WordPress plugins because it is incredibly popular. And again, if you're new to SEO and you need that helping hand, Yoast has your back. And the second plugin on this list of the best WordPress plugins is WP Rocket. And really, this is one of the best all-in-one plugins you can install if you want to improve your site speed and performance. And so WP Rocket has a ton of useful tools bundled into the free plan, including tools like a minification tool for JavaScript, CSS, and HTML, lazy loading for videos and images, caching management tools, and a database cleanup tools. So again, jargon aside, you can download the WP Rocket for free and enable a bunch of features that are going to make your site run faster and load content better for users. WP Rocket also has a CDN service called Rocket CDN that starts at $7.99 per month. I don't use that personally on my blog. I use WP Rocket's free version. I don't use the CDN, but that option is available, which is nice. And again, kind of like Yoast, if you're just looking for a simple install, turn on, and kind of solve some website speed issues, I definitely think WP Rocket is one of the best and most beginner-friendly solutions out there. All right, and so number 3 on this list of the best WordPress plugins is Smush. So part of proper on-page SEO means optimizing your images so that they load quickly and provide a good user experience. And so plugins like Smush can actually make this incredibly easy because you get features like lazy loading images, optimizing image file size, and resizing and compressing images. So basically with Smush, you're not going to be uploading these massive images to your site that take up a lot of the disk space and take a really long time to load. And one of our favorite features about Smush is you can optimize all of your images in bulk. So if you've never done image optimization on your WordPress site before, you can download this plugin, optimize them all at once, and then you're pretty much good to go. Smush also states it provides lossless compression, so you really shouldn't see a dramatic difference or any difference at all in terms of image quality. So that's another feature we really like about this plugin. All right, so moving on to social plugins, the plugins you can use to get more social shares, drive traffic to your site, and interact with your fans. So the first plugin in this category, and number 4 on our list that we wanted to mention, is the Easy Social Shares plugin. And so really what this plugin provides is just an easy, simple way to add social share buttons to your content. This plugin gives you 18 social network buttons. You can have floating or inline buttons on your content. There's even a social share count so people can see, social proof of how many times your content's been shared. And this all comes with the free plan. So again, this plugin isn't doing anything groundbreaking. You can just add a bunch of different social icons to your content. You can have them floating on the sidebar, at the bottom, top of your content, move where you position that around. And if you have a blog on your site or content that you want people to interact with, it is definitely a useful plugin to have. And number 5 on this list of the best WordPress plugins is Grow by Mediavine. And Mediavine is honestly an awesome company. They are an ad network for bloggers. It's the ad network I use for my own blog. And recently they came out with this Grow plugin, which is basically their social sharing plugin. So like Easy Social social shares, Grow basically lets you add a bunch of different shareable icons to your content. But what's really cool about the Grow plugin is it's more about getting returning users who can become actual fans of your site rather than just getting people to share your content to social media. So for starters, people can actually sign up for Grow, and that lets them save their favorite blog posts to their Grow account so they can just log in anytime and get back to that favorite content that they want to read. So if you're a recipe blogger, DIY blogger, or you have content like guides or tutorials that people want to read over and over again, something like Grow is very compelling. What's nice about Grow is you can also integrate your search bar into that kind of social share button, so people can share content, but they can also search your site for more valuable content. Grow also has really nifty recommended content widgets, so when people finish reading a blog post on your site, they can see more content they should read, or you can also have like a floating content recommendation widget that kind of is above, which is very good on mobile and desktop. Yeah, so overall, I think Grow is one of my favorite social share plugins. I use it on my own site as well. And again, if you're a DIY blogger, food blogger, or you have content you want people to actually bookmark for later, it's definitely the best social share plugin in our opinion. All right, so now we're gonna hop into marketing plugins. So we just covered social plugins, like how you can get people to actually engage with your content, but these marketing ones are gonna relate more to lead capture or actually building a customer base that you can sell to. And so for number 6 on this list of the best WordPress plugins and marketing plugins, we just had to talk about Opt-in Monster. So really, Opt-in Monster is just one of the most popular lead capture plugins for WordPress there is, and I'm sure you've seen them advertising or you've heard about them before. And so with Opt-in Monster, you can basically use a drag and drop editor to build different capture forms for your site. And so Opt-in Monster has a lot of different pre-built templates you can use, and you can create forms for things like, a floating bar form, a lightbox pop-up, an exit intent pop-up, or even geo-targeted pop-ups. What's nice is that Opt-in Monster even lets you split test this stuff with A/B testing or automate when your pop-ups fire. So there's kind of a lot of different data you can play with to see what actually converts people and what captures leads most effectively for your site. So overall, if you're using some sort of lead magnet like an ebook or a seminar or some kind of free offering to entice people, using something like Opt-in Monster to actually fire those forms and to start collecting data and leads is pretty much a no-brainer. It's really, really nice to use. It's intuitive with its drag and drop builder, and the split testing functionality is also quite nice. All right, so number 7 on this list of the best WordPress plugins is Pretty Links. And if you're making money with affiliate marketing, or you're kind of a beginner affiliate marketer and you need some help with managing your affiliate links, Pretty Links is definitely worth downloading. So at its core, Pretty Links basically lets you redirect those ugly looking affiliate links into more brandable, trustworthy links. So for example, instead of using some random jumble of characters and letters for our SiteGround affiliate code, we can use Pretty Links to redirect that code to something like bunnymedia.co/SiteGround. So it looks a lot prettier, it looks better for users, and it's not, so off-putting for people to click on. The free version of Pretty Links also has some basic click tracking elements in it as well. So overall, it's nice for beginners. It's great for just redirecting ugly links into more brandable links. Now, Pretty Links isn't useful if you want like page level conversion data or some really in-depth data that more experienced affiliate marketers are going to need. In that case, you're better off with something like Lasso that gives you that page level data and lets you really dig into the data. So Pretty Links, great for beginner affiliate marketers, great for brandable links, not the best for experienced affiliate marketers, but it is still a very popular and useful plugin nevertheless. All right, so number 8 on this list of the best WordPress plugins is SeedProd. And like Opt-in Monster, this is just one of the most popular page builder and form builders there is on WordPress. So really, if you're using landing pages to promote something like a webinar, ebook, course you're promoting, or some service you're trying to sell to people, it's a really great way to actually build those landing pages and to make sure your funnel is running smoothly. So like Opt-in Monster, SeedProd has over 100 something templates you can use to start, building these landing pages so you don't have to start from scratch. So again, this is one of the most popular landing page builders for WordPress. It uses a drag and drop editor just like Opt-in Monster. There's tons of pre-built templates you can use. The main downside is there's no free plan, and the most popular paid plan costs $99 per year when on sale. There is a cheaper plan for about $40 per year, which is quite affordable, but that one doesn't really integrate too well with email marketing services. So the bottom line is, if you just started your WordPress site and you're looking for some useful plugins, I'd probably hold off on things like Opt-in Monster or SeedProd until you have a product or service you want to promote and you need to capture those leads. But if you're at a point where spending $99 on a very robust, useful page builder is something you're considering, I think SeedProd is definitely worth it. But if you're at the point where spending $99 on a landing page builder isn't really going to impact your business too much and seems like a good idea, SeedProd is definitely worth considering. All right, so moving on to our final category of the best WordPress plugins, we're going to talk all things security because it's the internet, and unfortunately, at some point in time with your WordPress site, you're probably going to run into some security hiccups. And so for number 9 on this list, we just had to mention Sucuri because that is one of the most popular WordPress security plugins around. And funny/not funny story, a while ago, my blog was actually hacked when I was with SiteGround, and I panicked. I had no idea what to do. I had malware on my site. Google was refusing, to let people access my site because it detected that malware, and I had no idea what to do. So I panicked and I Googled the best way to clean up a WordPress site, and WordPress security, best plugins, and I found Sucuri. They cleaned up my site within 24 hours, and I've been a customer with them ever since. So like I mentioned, Sucuri is one of the most popular WordPress security plugins there is, and it actually comes with a lot of features to basically protect your site from malware, phishing attacks, and to make sure you're never compromised. Some of the main features you get include Sucuri's firewall integration, a malware scanning tool, post-hack support, and email alerts about what's going on with your site. So Sucuri starts at $199 per year. You can pay $299 to get a few more features, which is what I currently pay for. And what's nice about it is it gets you some peace of mind. You basically get Sucuri installed, they handle the firewall, they handle security, and you get those email alerts like I mentioned to let you know if anything weird is going on. So if you're not very techy and you just want someone to do the work for you and to protect your site, I definitely think that is a selling point of Sucuri. One downside I will say is that Sucuri's support team, while very responsive, can be a bit difficult to deal with, at least in my experience. Like when you submit a ticket to Sucuri, you get to say how confident you are with these tech things, and one of the options is like, I don't know anything. So when I submit a ticket, I say, do everything for me. I don't know what any of this jargon means, and I found like their tech team gets back to me with these really complicated explanations I still don't get. So I will say support for Sucuri can be a little challenging to communicate with, but they are responsive, they get the job done, and at the end of the day, if you ever get hacked or have some problems with your site, they can clean it up very quickly. All right, and the 10th and final best WordPress plugin that had to make this video is Updraft. And really, Updraft is the most popular WordPress backup plugin there is, and it is very simple in how it functions, but it is also very important to have. The thing is, if something goes totally wrong with your site, like it gets hacked and it can't be fixed, or something breaks and it can't be fixed, you need to restore a backup of your site. But not every host creates automatic backups, and remembering to back up your site manually can be kind of a pain. So this is why Updraft is so popular. You can basically use it to create automatic backups of your site, so if anything ever goes wrong, you have a recent version to restore to. The free version lets you create backups for things like the Google Drive or Dropbox, and you can pay for Updraft as well if you want more storage space and more places you can actually back up your site. Now, Updraft Personal costs $70, and that gets you a license for 2 different sites, so it is quite affordable. And again, you can use the free version, and if you have never backed up your site before, or you're awful at remembering to create manual backups, you definitely need a plugin like Updraft. All right, guys, so that does it for our list of the 10 best WordPress plugins you can use. Now, before we wrap up this video, we wanted to cover some WordPress plugins you should definitely avoid, as well as some best practices. And so probably at the top of the list of WordPress plugins you need to delete and just get off of your site is Jetpack. And for whatever reason, WordPress pushes Jetpack so heavily on new sites, and it's kind of easy to see why. I mean, Jetpack gets you some security features, some, site metric features. It's kind of a very user-friendly all-in-one plugin, but the problem with Jetpack is it just bloats your site. It makes everything slower, and oftentimes you're not better served going with an all-in-one tool. You're better off getting independent tools that are really good at one thing. So yes, Jetpack's site stats tool and some security features are nice, but it's just gonna bloat your site. It's gonna make everything load slower, and it definitely isn't something we think you should have on your WordPress site. And so the second category of WordPress plugins you really need to be careful with are page builders. And with Google placing more and more importance on site speed and the user experience, using a bloated page builder is definitely not gonna help your efforts in trying to rank well. And so right now, I know a lot of people are switching away from those editors like Elementor or Beaver Builder, and they're going to more lightweight solutions like Gutenberg that load a lot faster. And so we're not saying that page builders are bad by default, but I would personally be hesitant of starting a site with Elementor or Beaver Builder these days just because of speed concerns, and I would definitely shop around to find some more lightweight solutions. All right, and the third category of plugins you should review is more of a best practice, and this is just anything with really outdated updates to its plugin or a lack of reviews. One very nice thing about WordPress is it's open source. You can read reviews, you can see when plugins were updated, and WordPress will even tell you if a plugin is guaranteed to be compatible with your version of WordPress. And so I know it might be tempting sometimes, like you find a very specific plugin to solve a very specific problem, but it hasn't been updated in 2 years and it has 5 reviews, and you have no idea if it's actually safe and secure or not. Trust me, most of the time, outdated old plugins or shady plugins with like no reviews are just not worth the risk. It's important to update your plugins regularly, and ideally you should use as few plugins as possible on your site, just from a site speed perspective. So if there's a plugin you think you absolutely need, when in doubt, try and get in contact with the developer team, look on Reddit, look on forums, see if other people have experiences with the plugin before blindly downloading it and activating it on your WordPress site. Anyways, guys, that does it for our list of the 10 best WordPress plugins, as well as some plugins you should probably avoid and some best practices you can follow. Again, WordPress is open source. There are thousands and thousands of plugins. There are a lot more I wish we could have included in this video, but we'd be here for an hour, so we had to cut the list off somewhere. That said, if there's a plugin we missed or there's a must-have WordPress plugin you think that should have made the cut for this video, let us know down in the comments down below. We always love talking about all things WordPress. That's all for this one. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, you can leave a like or a comment, or you can subscribe. We have more WordPress and blogging content coming, so make sure to stick around. I hope everyone has a fantastic day. It's been Tom Blake with Bunny Media, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.